call the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Area Planning Commission to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Mr. Naylor.
Jerry, Madam Secretary, roll call please.
Okay. Darren Price,
Present.
Bill Free.
Here.
Tim Sparks.
Present.
Dale Munson.
Present.
Gary Naylor.
Present.
Robert Stewart.
Present.
Ryan Robb.
Present.
Bill Mackey. Absent. Greg Kiefaber.
Present.
Bill McDaniel.
Present.
And Mr. Westling is not here. And Beverly Rude.
We do not have any minutes to approve, so we can move past that. Next up is zoning code updates, accessory uses.
Okay, now I took the accessory dwelling units and I placed it in the, what I is the proper location in the accessory uses. And one thing I also did do is that and each different section, topic area from the zoning code is I put at the end of each one, I put in a page break. So that you can, so what the goal is, and I think it's at a point where there's some things I need to check on. That's okay with some of the language, but I think I should have the language issues I have corrected, especially with the accessory with the accessory uses. So what I would like to do then is to have this and get it into the actual zoning code format for these parts.
Okay.
So what we can do with those is then that way is dependent upon the feelings of what was it's presented, and between now and then is that the what you feel comfortable with, including in the code amendment. So so like I said, I have the accessory dwelling units, and I may place that at the end of the accessory uses. Okay, the next part's the yard exceptions. And like I said, there's still some things right there. It's old code language, such as intersection visibility. I just don't like the way it's worded. And there's just one thing I need to check on with manufactured homes. Then there's the temporary manufactured homes. And, okay, then there's just a little bit, then if manufactured home, mobile home park is, we already have things in place, but to allow them down to the possibility with some people of taking the actual minimum HUD size, which is 800 square feet. And then next section is temporary uses. And some of these, and I think this is something we'll also input members, those are also members of the BZA, as far as the temporary uses, any of those that should still go before the BZA, and then those which are the Plan Commission, BZA are comfortable with just being staff approvals. And those are everything I have right here. And I really didn't dig into anything for this with tiny homes, because I know there's still a lot we probably need to cover with tiny homes, and I know that the topic makes a lot of people uncomfortable. So, okay. But so I don't know if there's any questions on what I have right here.
I have one question, Bill.
Yes, Bob?
The zoning regulations that we're putting in place, or you're wanting to put in place here, that won't, aren't they overriding any subdivision
No.
covenants?
No, this cannot, okay, you cannot set aside subdivision covenants
Okay.
because those are private agreements. Okay, which is why we, plan commission zoning boards do not enforce covenants because those are private. And in the covenants, as you know, is that, and in the covenants, it has the procedures if they wish to change them, or if someone needs to, feels a need to take someone to court for violating the covenants. And it spells out who has the authority to, which is anybody within that subdivision has the authority, or if it's just a section of a subdivision, say maybe it's the way Mason did a lot of small subdivisions, sections. So for example, you have section 1, section 2, just that, there's differences. So those who have so it's those in that specific section that have the authority, my understanding, is that to, with others, take others to court within it. Okay, I believe that it's I think, Bill, wasn't that part of the gist with, part of your conversation with Jeff last month?
What's that, sir?
About with the covenants?
What about it?
Okay,
I've got a question I asked Gary.
yeah, but there's a section, well, you have the two sections. And that the only ones really, since they're different, is that the sections are, someone outside of that section doesn't have the authority on it.
Correct.
Correct, okay.
That is what he said.
That is what I thought, I recalled with the conversation. So, yeah, so we don't have the authority to, basically it's called set aside
Well, the
covenants.
good news is, by this time, most people live in subdivisions don't know what the covenants are. So,
Yep. Yep.
and there's probably no group there that meets on a regular basis
No,
anyway.
I don't think I haven't seen anything or anybody knows of any subdivision that was developed in Fayette County that had a homeowners association.
I don't think there are any that I know of.
No. Now, what you do have is that when it was something that Mason had, and then also McGraw with his subdivisions, and then also Troy Tarvin, is that if you're doing things, you need to you're gonna build on it, you're gonna accessory building, anything like that. Okay, you need to you need to run it by for approval of what it is that you wanna do. So the first one I came across with that, it was my first year. And Mr. McGraw came into the commissioners meeting. And someone built an oversized structure and it was too close to the property line. And so Mr. McGraw wanted us to enforce it. It's like, no, we don't have the authority to enforce it. You have to use your subdivision covenants. You have to use those, and then it's a civil court thing. It requires, and it's a lot of things is that people don't want to do that because they want a government entity to do it for them, even when you don't have the authority to do it. And I'm sure I know there's things that go in front of the county commissioners that are similar to that. Okay, but,
My question was,
Sure.
Isn't the property line and the easement the same in between two houses?
no, the easement, okay. So you have the property line, okay, the electric utility, okay, those are typically 20 feet wide. You probably noticed how, the utility poles are typically placed on the property lines. So it's 10 feet on each side of it, so it's a total 20-foot right-of-way. So that's the easement, and your subdivisions will show you what the actual easements are. Okay, so the other one is that, there's easements that, so most of the time when a subdivision is developed, what you're gonna get is, okay, there's just a generic easement for drainage. You know, your water, your sanitary, the electric, you know, gas, so all of them can run through that. So they're two different things. They're related, but they're two different things.
Okay, well, my question, I guess it's two-part, was on the fences,
Yeah,
on number 2A.
yeah,
It's in bold letters on the property line. And then the next page over,
yeah,
letter G says, it will not be within the easement.
yeah, yep. Yeah, those are, yeah, because you can place it there unless.
So
it's
it
within-
sounded kinda
Yeah.
the opposite, I guess.
Okay, which page is that on?
4 and 5.
Okay, 4 and 5. Okay. 5. Okay. Language. Clarify. Okay, fence.
Under fences, it'd be 2A and then G.
And G. Okay, and G. Okay, language clarify. Yeah, probably what I need to put in the actual same paragraph. Clarify from fence on property line and easement. Yeah, 'cause that's one that, utilities have had problems with people doing things in the easement.
Well, in my neighborhood, we have underground utilities,
Yeah, exactly.
so that makes a difference too.
It's still the same easement.
Right.
With all the underground utilities, so it makes it even more important to not allow any type of construction in that easement. Yeah. Yeah, because even when, because we still periodically get someone who, even when it gets marked, not everything necessarily always is gonna get marked. So, thank goodness, the only ones I've ever seen is people then ending up cutting electric or things like a phone, things like that. So fortunately, we've never had someone since I've been here dig in with a backhoe and hit a gas line. I had a couple times people did it with a shovel, but no, nothing major like the ones you periodically read about when someone hits someone with a backhoe. When the neighborhood disappears. Okay, any other questions, comments? I know I didn't get this to you as soon as I would have liked to with the other thing, trying to get these other things to you and ready for you this evening also. But, so, at this point, other than some of the language I need to clean up, I'm not going to insert anything else. So that way is, between now and then, before I send anything out in January, so you'll have, the language right here that you need to review. And if there's some things that's like, you come across and like, okay, here's something right here that you haven't thought about. So you can also always send me emails to ask me the questions about these things. Okay. Anything else from anybody? Come on, we need to push this past 6:30 for Bob.
You what?
So we need to push this past 6:30 for you.
Oh, absolutely.
But for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable with most of these things right here. And I don't know how comfortable you all are, but if there's things in there that make you uncomfortable, just like you always do, let me know.
Well, there'll always be something come up that's not covered here, I guarantee you.
Oh, that's just the nature of anything like that when you're doing any codes or anything else. You can't.
You can't cover everything, Bill.
No, absolutely. I was at a meeting with building officials and one of them asked, can't we just cover all these things in the building code? It's like, no, because every possible thing that you have, you want to include every possible eventuality is, it'd be huge.
Then common sense comes in, that's not really something that's a lot of, but.
Yeah, yeah, so, like I said, as I've always relied on, planning commission and zoning board to, keep me squared away with these things.
Okay, so on the manufactured home, the mobile homes on page 10.
Yep.
So number 6,
Yeah, because that's what was in the old one, but I need to figure out is because I'm looking for language that doesn't make reference to a date.
okay,
Because if you have a really old zoning code, it's gonna say, well, you can use a 1972 mobile home.
right,
It's like, no, because the key is something's in a condition that can actually be moved. The state of Indiana will actually allow to be moved on the county, on public roads.
and then next section down, under temporary placement, A, B, and C, are those new or just breaks?
Oh, no, those are just breaks.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so those are some things I added early on. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and then with the temporary uses is what things should be staff approval, and then what really needs to be in front of the BZA. So for example, one thing with the parking lots that were added was because since this was originally in there, it was after the tragic mishap with the tornado at the state fair. And so all of these things, just like, I don't know if anybody's was involved with things like the bicentennial or other events in the city or the city, that you have to have the emergency egress plan. And so a lot of things were added after that, as far as, yeah.
okay, so number 5 here.
Yep.
With bazaars and carnivals, so we're saying that if somebody wants to put up a tent, that they need to come before the BZA?
Yeah, and yeah.
Okay.
And,
Just make sure I'm reading that right.
Yes, and because the one in particular I'm uncomfortable with. And so including them because every year, and there's the haunted houses, and that bothers me greatly. I know that bothers the fire chief, and then with old Bill Hughes, that's always bothered him with those, because if someone just sets up a haunted house without having to go through anything with approvals by the state, and then we're here locally to make sure everything's done right. Because yeah, Gary?
Why not make that, just make that a permit process?
Oh, haunted house?
I mean, the, number 5, bazaars and carnivals, outdoor tent, theater, I mean,
Yeah, that includes somebody's wedding or something, you know? as well?
No, it's the, okay, well,
This says
well, that
anything.
way then it'd be, then staff as just a temporary use permit.
right. I mean, rather than going through the BZA, I mean,
Yeah, well, and, all the, well, they may not use as many, but, at the fair,
Yeah.
like all those would require,
No, those, yeah, no, they already have those things in place with the fair.
okay,
Yeah, so the one every year that needs to have are the things that they do in the for example, the Winter Festival, the other festival in May. So they actually have to submit with those is the emergency egress plans. And that would be something then requiring, say, the bazaars, carnivals, and these others, is making sure they have the emergency egress plans and the approvals as per, the requirements of the Indiana
But you have
Fire.
state guidelines that you can go through
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
issue a permit. couldn't you?
Exactly, and that stuff gets included with the permit. You need to include this, and this,
Yeah.
just like on the other permits.
But what determines, I mean, I'm kinda like, Tim, does a tent for a wedding reception?
Well, and it says any types of temporary uses, which kind of threw me off there.
Yeah, I mean, how deep do we go with that?
Yeah,
Because, a tent may be set up for a wedding that would have 200 guests in it.
okay.
Is it a-
It's gonna be
Is
there
it- is
48
that-
hours the most, so I mean, would that be
Yeah.
a regulation you put onto it for
or is
time
it
limit?
Yeah,
more of a commercial
Yeah, commercial operation.
commercial use?
Okay.
Bill, we have manufactured homes, mobile homes in rural areas. Are there any requirements for septic systems?
Yes,
Okay.
they require septic, and they also require, if they need water, and it has to be a well, they also need a well permit. So, yeah, no, they just can't bring them out in the county and then just,
Set up shop.
They're already existing, maybe there for 30 years?
well, if they don't have one, is that, it's the,
Oh, there may be one, but it's
oh,
not.
I don't doubt that there are, but
Yeah.
we aren't enforcing those, and unless there's actually contamination, I don't think that the health department, enforces those either. Yeah, because no doubt there's, whether it's something like a manufactured home, and those of you who live out in the county, you're probably familiar with places that have had the problems with the
I've
failed
seen
failed
50-gallon
septic
drums.
systems. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no. Okay.
Okay, any other questions, commentary?
Okay. I guess what we can make reference to is for that number 5 as temporary events
Would that be a commercial use?
of commercial nature, yeah.
Yeah.
Temporary commercial use?
Yeah, commercial. Yeah. Okay.
so is that, if you go commercial, then you're gonna make money off of it?
Yeah. Yeah, but,
Is that
yeah, well, yeah,
the
because,
definition of commercial? I mean,
yeah.
for instance, a wedding, you're not gonna make money
Yeah,
off of it.
Exactly.
But if
Somebody's going.
somebody has
Yeah.
a concert
Or what about a church bazaar or something like that,
that
Are you
that are
technically
fundraisers, is that commercial, or is that,
Okay, so I guess the,
commercial for profit, maybe? For profit? And would that alleviate your not-for-profit organizations from needing that?
Then
But
really,
I don't know that state guidelines,
would they take out bazaars and
Excuse me.
carnivals at that, well, carnivals may not, a church carnival, but like a bazaar, I would think would be excluded from that piece of it as well.
okay. Okay.
or do you require the permit for
Private.
everybody, but no permit fees on not-for-profit? Because you still need to stay safety standards, that's the
Yeah.
purpose of it in the first
Yeah,
place.
exactly. So the main one would just be, okay, now if it's, so of course with the weddings, unless it's on a property that's set up for someone to do the weddings, if it's just gonna be at someone's, dwelling or something, or, and again, is you don't have a problem with, the weddings that are held out at the bird sanctuary, because the whole thing's an emergency egress. So, okay, no, it's the, no, it's,
I don't know where you start
Yeah,
and stop.
Yeah, I don't either, but, so,
Sounds better just to leave the language out. Leave it out.
yeah, but I'll work on some language for that. Now, well, like I said, this is why, always ask for your guys' input. Because, yeah, 'cause, you know, when you're writing things it's, especially if it's been a while, you don't always go back and then, run it through your, mental filter. Okay. Okay, all right.
Okay, any other,
Should you add maybe like large groups of people also?
Maybe put a minimum.
What's that?
An amount of people,
Okay. Okay.
like a large gathering?
Okay. Yeah, well.
If it's a facility that's gonna hold
Yeah,
more
well,
than 50 people or.
Yeah, well, I think
something.
with private things or some of these others, is that the, okay, the weddings, okay, okay. So I can do is I can check some things in the,
Maybe the state code gives us some.
yeah, exactly, so, yeah, I'll look in, yeah, 'cause one will probably find
Because I bet there
some of the
is
things
some
that is in
people
the,
in
the
occupancy.
fire code,
Yeah.
the Indiana fire code.
yeah, cause you gotta have a number to be, you can't just say large gathering, you have a number to
Yeah.
quantify it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I was asking for, was an occupancy.
Yeah.
Okay, occupancy.
So there's numbers in the occupancy right there that, if it's in, say, even if it's a building, that you, up to X, you don't need, you don't need sprinklers, you don't need this, or anything along those lines. Is the, then the other thing you have is then the maximum distance. And that's one of the things on the, when they're doing egress, is that, okay, you have a maximum of this distance from anybody to leaving. Now, things that are outdoor events, those aren't as big of a deal. They're a lot easier. But for having any events inside something, that becomes a little more problematic. But most of those will still anyway be in a structure that's already a, class 1. For example, if someone said, okay, so someone's doing something at the inside of, say, the Miller Building. They meet those requirements as far as the egress. Okay, same thing with some of the different events St. Gabriel's has in their new facility, because it already has the egress requirements in place. So, okay, I'll just need to, think through some things on number 5. Okay. Okay, anything else jumps out at anybody? But like I said, as you're going through this more, as you come across something, email me with it. That's perfectly okay.
All right, let's move on down to the director's report.
Okay, different things related with the director's report. And so, anything will be this. Okay, so with the first one is the annual plan for next year. So what I suggest is not really adding anything else to the mix, because unfortunately is this last year kind of, well, I kind of set us back on this. Some of the things with the 2025 projects. But I think we're at a point where if you're happy with everything, we'll set up a public hearing in February for this. Then the project, and the only other real major project is to focus on will be the other reformatting of the zoning code. Because these changes will be in there, because when we're doing the reformatting, I really don't want to then have to go, I just want us to focus on the reformatting And then not any other substantive changes within the zoning code. So it'll be a lot easier. The information's all the same, we're just making it easier for everybody to use. And then there's the few things still, okay, then there's a few things right there, the additional projects, time permitting, but of course, that's been there for a few years. Okay, thanks to John Pazzi, John Pazzi caught something, and it was in both November and December. I had the wrong dates in there. And I think what it was is they both had the November 22nd and December 22nd, so I think that came through with on the October. So those are corrected now for those, and I also resent the corrected meeting schedule to Channel 3 and then also the newspaper. Okay, now what some people will be interested in. Okay, terms that are expiring. Now, Tim, if you'd like to stick around longer, I'd appreciate it, because I'm not trying to butter you up or anything, but I think other members will agree with me, you've been a very good member. So,
Thank you.
and if someone's a good member, they want to stick around, yeah, but you don't want to, I understand. So if anybody might potentially be interested in because we don't know what the decision will be made by Mr. Sparks. But if someone would be interested in that position in the city, okay, please contact Mayor Frank. Now, now the only one that's actually expiring, a long-term appointment, will be Jeff Fisher, but I don't know what Jeff's intention will be. But,
And then we still have the vacant.
yeah, we still have a vacancy on the BZA for a city appointment.
Yeah.
So if you're potentially interested in the BZA for the city, please contact Mayor Frank. And I don't know what Mr. Fisher's intentions are, but if you have a potential interest out in the county, please contact the county commissioners.
Darren, for the BZA, it looks like you expired December 31st of 2022.
Yeah, it's every year.
Oh,
Yeah, because his is the APC representative,
We vote
so, yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
would update the,
Yeah, so on both of these, yeah, both the APC and the BZA,
He's been gone a long time.
yeah, there's 4 citizens, so that way every year one of the citizens expires and then there's a new appointment. So but, yeah, and I think Gary remembers everything I went through trying to square all that away with, just everybody quitting, not meeting the requirements of, the appointments. So that took a while to get squared away, but we got it squared away and kinda like it keep that way. Yeah, because if you don't have everything squared away properly, then if someone isn't supposed to be on it, or that it increases the probability of successful challenge to an APC or BZA action. Because you have someone who's not supposed to be on there.
He's keeping you here. He's keeping you here.
Okay.
I'm going to quarter till, so.
Okay, and then the actual staff report, the director's report. But, yeah, as we are getting more people who are choosing to do electronic payments. Whether they use the portal or they have me, they bring in the paperwork and then they want to go ahead and pay electronically. So we just complete the permit and then that's all we need is, we complete the permit and we're then just send them an electronic invoice to pay for it. And once it's paid, we release the permit.
Okay. Okay, anybody have any questions on the director's report?
Make a motion to accept the director's report.
Motion made to accept, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Mr. President, do we need to specifically approve the annual plan, or would the director's report motion cover that?
I think that would cover that. Okay. If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Bob, you weren't fast enough.
We have a motion and a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
I made that motion half an hour ago, but wasn't loud.
Call the December 18th, 2025 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Jeff Fisher,
Present.
Darren Price,
Present.
Bill Free,
Present.
Richie Stevens,
Present.
Bill McDaniel,
Present.
Jeff Westling is absent, and Beverly Rude.
Okay, we have no minutes to approve tonight.
Ugh,
No public.
Sorry about that.
No public hearings. So we got the director's report.
This is the annual plan, just got the same one from last year. I did have to make a couple of corrections for November, December. And so I emailed this to you all, but, so all those dates should now be correct for 2026 meetings. So so that's good, that's taken care of. All right, now, okay, now Mr. Fisher's, okay, appointment expires this year. Now, if you're interested in still staying, Jeff, or you don't want to continue, just go ahead and let the commissioners know.
Okay, I just told, I'll plan on staying.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because I appreciate your voice here. It's helpful to have someone who's also from the, the building trades industry here, that understands a lot of the things we need to do with the BZA. Okay, but, okay, other than that, it's the, I guess it's just the actual director's report itself.
Yep. Okay, does anybody have any questions for Bill on the director's report?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
I got a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
We have a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Thanks.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.